Another one for the day, I believe this is 4 and 5 recap. Day 4 was a short day for me because I had work, so day 5 was a longer day to play. So we finally completed everything in the game, pretty much every big boss in the game. We've cleared, all 117, all 117 maps are cleared, all the void stones, all the favorite mass systems are done. I have all the 132 Atlas passive points now. This was the thing I just finished now. Dash. So all 132 are allocated, so those are all finished off. Pretty much we got everything done. This is with just playing hexblast ignite build. It was rough, I'm not gonna lie. The fear, I did all the stuff going up to the fear. So like the Cortex, Chalulu, Uber Ziri, Shaper, and Elder. I did all those myself, but for the fear, I didn't have the damage output to kill the bosses. I think I used the first 2 portals myself. I got them both. I think I got Cortex and Uber Aziri, if I'm correct, on the beginning, and I didn't have the damage output for them. So I got them about halfway each before I just went through 2 portals, because once Aziri starts doing that ability that on the floor, it's just no way to live for this build. So I got someone to carry me through the fear, but everything else I did myself. So like all the 5 other invitations I cleared. Cyrus, Maven, Uber Elder. What else is there? I think those are the main ones, right? Cortex. Yeah, I think so. Easy to look at the fragment tabs. Yeah, so Cyrus completed, Uber Ziri was completed. Maven was actually pretty doable with this build. I was surprised. I thought Maven was going to be a big rip, but was completely doable, no problem. Uber Elder was extremely difficult. Uber Ziri was easy, except for the ground effects when Maven slows you and Ziri's abilities goes right on top of Maven. It's insta-death. That killed me a bunch of times. Uber Elder was extremely rippy. I killed it on the last portal due to pretty much I don't know the fight at all. And this build is not the fastest killing build, so it definitely took time. I just needed to damage them one after another. But got that done. I'm trying to think. What else did we do? Those are the main things. Chalulu, like the Breach Lords were no problem with the build. This build, the chaos damage this build does is very good. Pretty much when I did like Cyrus, I was able to face tank almost all of his abilities. Maven was pretty much the same thing. Like the Blob's beam didn't even kill me. Most of Maven's death was me messing up the floor, so I couldn't see the memory game in the last phase. But all those fights, I'll link the final part of the fights at the end of the video, like Uber Elders, Maven, Cyrus's. I think I have Uber Ziri's, like the original 2 from them. Like I'll link all their like the final like maybe minute or 2 of each of them at the end, just to show that. But we'll do a map showcase here. So one thing I do want to mention, I did change the build up a lot since the last video. We're level 92 now, and I made some changes to the build. As you see, we added the cluster jewel cluster setup. I added the glorious vanity. Redid some of the skill tree pathing. And I also finally revamped some of the gear. Not a lot of the gear got revamped, but we weapon, did a little bit with the gloves and boots. That was actually pretty much it. All the gems are exact same as last, so I'm not going over the gems. Pretty much, we'll do the gear real fast, only a couple of changes. So I bought another voice specter, and I pretty much just spammed, it was the fossils, actually. Fossils are super cheap this league. It's a lot cheaper than Harvest, so I just bought a lot of Scorch fossils. It's like 1 chaos for 10 of these. And I bought 2 exalts worth of resonators, and I just spammed clusters. I spammed the weapon until I got a decent weapon. This was the best outcome I got. I had to actually hit a null on this because it was actually triple prefix, triple suffix. And I got an open prefix. Ideally, I wanted to get rid of that cast speed to have an open suffix because they get more options from the bench. But ideally, I was looking for like, increased fire damage, fire dot multi, regular dot multi, burning damage. Ignite chance is okay, but not the best. damage over time, like anything that does damage over time is really good. I got sort of lucky with this one and I kept it. This was the best I got out of a lot of tries. I even have the second one in here that I've been trying on. I have not gotten anything good for a long time with this. Pretty much the gloves and boots, I just used the new influence things, and I threw everything I had at these until I got something decent. Like the gloves, I got fire.multi, and I just threw everything. So fire.multi is Xart, the red one, and then the damage int. You don't need the damage intelligence. It only gives me an extra 6% more damage. Not that much. It's just something I rolled on my last one, so that's why I got stuck with. But mainly the fire.multi is what you want. And ideally, if you can get tier 6, you want to go tier 6 fire.multi. Tier 6 on here, it looks like it's the tier 1, so it's super cheap. Boots, I forgot that ignites you deal faster is actually a mod you can get. That one is so Eater Whirls is the blue one. Same thing, throw a bunch of your stuff on there. Sure, I guess we'll do a trade while we're doing this. I don't know what boots I have. Oh, these from Cyrus. So pretty much just throw a bunch of your essences on there. Let me put D&D on. Actually, I completely forgot about that. Okay, whatever. So pretty much throw a bunch of your essences on there. Sure, I don't care at this point. Dash D&D. There you go. So put a bunch of your essences on there, or not essence, the new thingy, what do we call these? New influence modifiers until you get ignites you deal faster. You don't need ignites deal faster. It's just it feels nice because it comes down to, do you want your damage to take 5 seconds? Like, say if it takes 5 seconds to do your full amount of damage. If you have all these to deal faster, you can maybe bring it down to 4 seconds. It just gets your full damage output out there faster for bossing. At actual mapping, it's not going to make a difference. The ignite to deal faster is only really for bossing, to be honest. And then the other mod, there's a bunch of other options. This is what I got stuck with. Flash Offering, which we're not even using, so it's a dead mod. But pretty much nothing really changed if you look at this. The exact same chest piece, which is pretty bad. This is pretty much like the budget chest piece. Ideally, for every slot, I would recommend, like Maven Helmet, if you want to keep something like this, Malevolence or Determination both work because they're both 50% auras. Try to get a Corrupted Burning Damage on there also for more damage output. This still needs attribute increase. I just cannot get those right now. I've only have 5. Pretty much this still needs to be blessed to get 23% chaos res. And I'm not sure which one. You can go either resistance or damage. Depends which one you think's better. It's not much of a difference. This one still doesn't even have 79 life yet with a good second modifier. Chest piece. I would say this is the budget version. This is like 40 chaos for these colors. The triple red, triple blue, 2 red, and 1 green. And I would use this to start, but I would recommend highly upgrading this chest piece to an armor base, armor ES even, or straight armor, whatever you can do. And pretty much I would craft on, so the best one is going to be I think it's the Flawless Chilulu one, the one that has the fractured 100% increased global defense one on it. That's the best, but that's 120 exalt base to 140 exalt, so cheaper option would be just to get a regular 6-link and craft on it, a good life roll. I have an open prefix suffix, which one it is, but the one you can craft void elements, so you can be elemental immunity through the boots by using a shaper pair with a void element on it for a 35. I think the chest piece runs 35 also, if I recall correctly. Yeah, void elements 25. So this plus the boots alone is a 60% chance to avoid elements. I know you can get it through, I don't know if it's the boots or gloves, but also you can get a, I think the dex base, you can also roll, or no, I'm saying spell suppression, never mind. But avoid elements, you can probably get also avoid spell suppression at the same time. If you get a new pair of boots, roll spell suppression there. roll spell suppression on the chest piece, get avoid elements down here, get a shaper base, even if you can do that too with avoid elements. You can easily hit, and also on the tree too. Go away. You can get avoid elements through here too. So like you can easily get 100% chance to avoid elements with this build, no problem. It's extremely easy. I just haven't invested into it, but it's extremely doable. And I would 100% recommend it. Most of my deaths have been due to me getting, you know, shocked. All that kind of shock has been killing me on a lot of losses. So avoid elements, 100% recommend. You know, if you get a decent spell suppression, you're even going to be much stronger than I am on this build. And this build, even though I only have 5k combined, it does die often. But it's a lot better than what it was in the last video. Belt, to be honest, you know, good resistance, strength, life, percent life even, ES. You know, there's a lot of good options. This one's actually pretty good. My upgraded version of this one is going to be Headhunter, just because it's, you know, strength and dex, and now we'll actually remove the dex from the gloves. But like Headhunter is very good. Upgraded from Headhunter would be Mage Blood. Like that's pretty much the line. You know, heavy belt to start, or Stygian Vice, into Headhunter, into Mage Blood. Gloves, we talked about, you know, fix your resistance, you get life, get dex if you need it, strength if you need it. You know, get what you need on the gloves. Weapon, pretty much dot multis. More damage over time effects, good. Fire dot multis, good. You know, use your suffix on here to fix whatever you need with the build. Everything else we talked about. You know, like this one, get corrupted. You know, +2 AoE gems, +2 gems, +1 gems even start. Percent spell block, attack block is always good to drop passive points. There's a lot of good options with the build depending on how you want to go with it. Flash setup, you know, this is probably the best one just for the bleed immune. Enduring Flash is needed. You don't need to remove curse on use, is probably something I get rid of. It's just that's what it rolled when I was rolling this. You know, phasing's nice. You know, the armor does help. And then a better movement speed. I don't like this one. It was just what I had at the time. So, skill tree. So, pretty much I changed a little bit of the tree. So, Glorious Vanity, you need Doriani's to get the Divine Corrupted Soul, which gives you the more ES's life. And then also 50% of non-chaos damage taken, bypass ES. It's just another defensive layer. And also when you put this on here, check all these little nodes, because you can get something good. Like I got pain right here, which is going to be 32% more damage over time. So it's more damage. You know, like check all these little ones, like chaos damage over here, fire damage over here should be a good 2 points to vest in here for like a massive 43% more fire damage. I went up here. Like always check these little ones. You never know. If you have something that's good on these but just pathing a couple points, I recommend go pick them up and drop points somewhere else. It's what I did last league, and it definitely works out pretty well. And also check these, because you might get like, you know, more resistance throughout these, maybe more attributes. You know, you never know. A lot of resistant nodes are usually in here, and you keep dividing it just to get something good. Always works too. So it's probably the best option to go with. Pretty much, you know, dex node, I have to take this because I need the dex. Because if I drop it off, I'm exactly 28 points short. So I had to keep this on. You know, your dot multi. None of this really changed that much. So instead of going these 2 points, that's when I went this way. I just dropped these 2 points off. You know, over here, I still took the fire damage. You can definitely drop this if you need to. We'll talk about cluster later. So like over here, this is the chaos multi. You probably can drop this too, even. It doesn't really bring a whole lot, but this pretty much never changed. I'm still taking the chance to ignite. I want to drop these to go with the damage. It's a lot more damage if you go this route. I just like having 100% chance to ignite, because I think I'm at 99 right now. Yeah, I'm at 99, so it feels nice, but could you definitely drop these and go this one and not have 100% chance to ignite? Definitely. Would it be better for your build? Most likely, probably. Still the same over here, you know, chance to ignite instead of the fire damage. What else? Oh yeah. So I cut off these points right here just because I didn't really need the elemental resistance since I'm way overcapped due to the fact of me not fixing my gear. And I didn't really need the armor and ES, so I just dropped all these points up here. And then I just connected these points up here just so I can take pretty much the 50% more damage. That's the only reason I went this way. And also the 15% more chance to ignite. So there's a lot of ignite chance I'm taking on the build. It's, for 50% damage is not bad. Could you drop this? Yes. It's just find a way to make it work for your build. I still have the life node up here because I definitely need the life. Still glancing blow. I have the whole block cluster here because I do need the chance to block. Because I'm at 75 spell exactly and 76 attack. That's why I say if you get the corrupted on the shield, you can definitely drop these nodes. Just do it based on what you need. These were the points I started taking at level 91 and 92. These are the 2 points that you can drop and invest them somewhere else. Even like the jewel slot here for corrupting blood, which I highly recommend. If you want to pick up this point back for more mana, it definitely does help. Because your mana regen sucks. Determination still take. Another option is you can definitely shoot out this way and take the cluster jewel here instead to get divine shield for another defensive layer. It just depends if you can afford. Like you would definitely switch, this whole thing down there. It's just you got to figure out then. Is there a way to justify this whole instead of routing up here? Is there a different route you can take? Stuff like that. It's just something I would like to invest in, but you need more skill points probably, or more time to look at this. So the cluster jewel, 2 of these is better than 1. I at least recommend at least getting 1 to start. It definitely does help, and they're really cheap too. Like the 2 mediums, I made them just by slamming Scorch Fossils, and I bought this one for 100 chaos, or I think it was 100 chaos or 1x, just because I needed something to start with. They are very hard to craft. So I was looking for anything that put at like Burning Bright pretty much just for the AoE and burning damage. What the best combination is, I don't know. So this one's just Widespread Destruction, Burning Bright, and Smoke Remains. It's mainly just to get a 5 passive setup. And this was the cheapest that worked. So the mediums are I both was just slamming 5 passive mini clusters, and these I ended up getting a duplicate, which I was not expecting, but I got a double blowback Burning Bright on both of them. I just kept it because the main thing I was looking for was blowback, just because I needed the 10% chance to ignite, and Knights you deal are 8% faster, so it's 16% faster here. Plus, there's another 12 up here, another 6 over here, so it's a lot of ignites deal faster with this build. It's nicer. Do you need all this? No, you don't. I don't know if it tells you on here. Yeah, I guess ignite damage per second. It's like 253,000 per second. And night duration modifier is 75% increase. So it's nice to have. It definitely makes your build feel much more better, or much more comfortable to play. It's all about quality of life, pretty much. And Burning Bright is the exact same as here, so that's why you don't need 3 Burning Brights on the build. It's just the way that everything rolls, so I got stuck with it. For a massive amount of burning damage, like 75% more, with a lot of AoE. So it's there. It can be changed. Definitely you can change it. I think originally I was looking for, I think it's like Circle Obliteration or Circle something. That's more damage over time. You can easily get rid of Blowback. Blowback is something in the past that was really broken back in Ultimatum League, but it got extremely nerfed and it's not the best anymore. It's just, we take what we take when we're rolling clusters. And both of the jewels up here are pretty much life, and then, any type of dot multi, burning damage, increased damage over time, fire damage, whatever you can get. And this is what I got double up here. These are both this one I made because I got the base through, I got the Fracture Light through Ritual, and I just spammed with Harvest until I got something decent. And this one I bought for 15 chaos. So the build's extremely cheap. A lot of upgrades do need to be needed to this build, like corrupting blood, jewels, better clusters. You know, even trying to get a second cluster going down here even. But it's something I'm very happy with the way this build turned out. You know, for a build that I created on my own, for my first POB, it did a lot better than I expected, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. Recommend the build if you want to play a super off meta. It's like 0.3% people playing this league. But let's do a quick showcase of 119% quant. We're not going to juice it just because save time through the map. Yeah, let's do it like that. But, you know, I'm happy with the build. Does the build need improvements? Yes. Is the build perfect? Nowhere near. It's a very, you know, different playstyle. You know, night builds are fun. They are very different. Something I wanted to try as a league start. At this point, I'm not 100%. Yeah, we're dead. So, like, stuff like that does happen. That's why I say, like, you know, the fact that it bypasses my ES is where you run into problems. In fact, I didn't really check what's on this map. Probably does not help either. Well, let me check some fast. No. Like, we have damage. It's just getting this fireability up more is always the main thing. That's why I think, you know, getting elemental immunity is real easy to get. You know, go for that. I don't even really think it matters. That's why I think a Void Elemental would be like my next upgrade. Alternate quality gems is still needed for the build, which I haven't even done yet. Sure. Yeah, like alternate quality gems, I think the Tempest Shield one gives you more spell block, if I'm correct. And that's another more points you can save. The Defiance Banner, I think, is more defensive layer, more defense. Determination would be more defense. So there's definitely a lot. Let's skip it. There's a lot more defense that you can put in this build. It's just, you know, more currency invested, which I don't have right now. Because I spent all my currency trying to get pretty much farming everything. Because we pretty much just spent everything I had to get like everything done today at once. But you can see the playstyle is very smooth. It's very different. I'm probably gonna keep the build probably for another maybe week or so, just to farm up currency for our next build. Which I don't know exactly which route I'm going with. It's either I'm gonna farm some macrums with next build, or we go with like Legion, Breach, more stuff like mapping based, which I'm not sure yet. And also how much currency we can get to play with. Because I think for now I'm going to do some expedition farming for a while. Because it's easy for this build to handle. Because this build cannot do Legion. It can't do Legion well. It can't do Breach well. Like anything like high density is not going to be quick. If you want to get better faster with this build, you know, elevated, tailwind, onslaught, lucid boots are always the way to go. It's just, you know, you're going to be spending a lot of currency for that. And you're also going to lose more resistance slots. So it's hard to say what the best option is. Like Headhunter, if you have a Headhunter, if you have Mage Blood, you can definitely make this build much better than what I'm playing. If you have currency, make it much better. And my map is all screwy. So actually, map was pretty boring. Thought it'd be a little more interesting with the quant. I forgot her ability kills you. But yeah, I'll link the fights at the end. Would I recommend the build? If you want to have fun if you want to play a super off meta build, have fun, cheap, recommend it. Just needs high investment to get to like the point where you can like super do everything with a shield. Okay, so she's always a problem killing with her Soul Eater ability. You might not be able to kill her. This is probably not the best map to showcase because of this boss. And the fact that she has a... Yeah, she's dead. What do you want to call it inside of her? Spirit thing? But yeah, you see we did good into the boss. Which, it does happen often with this build. Most of your problems will probably come when you get to like the bossing things. So I guess that was it actually. Okay, whatever. That's the map, I guess. But yeah, not the best map showcase, but you know, it happens. So I just wanted to put the video out there. This will be the final one of this build. This is pretty much like the final build guide too. But from here, I'm not exactly sure what the next video is going to be. We might do like a maybe an expedition project this league. Maybe I'll finally do a Simacrum project, which I wanted to do last league whenever I got around to. We might do, you know, Breach Legion project. Seeing how many of stones and stuff drop. This we'll see. The fact that we got this all done, I'm happy. I'm ready to move on from this build eventually. I just gotta figure out what we're doing next. If we're gonna go something with farm currency with this, or farm currency macrums. We'll see. Also, how much currency we get to depends for each build, because I know one build costs a lot more than the other. But I do want to revisit the totem build this league, because a lot of people did like it this last league. It seemed like a lot of good views and likes, so I do want to revisit that build and actually build it all out with currency, because I do know what the gloves look like. I just know they cost a lot with a lot of currency to make. But that's something we'll probably look at this point of the league. I don't know if either totems will be my next build, or it's going to be the build after. I just got to see which order we want to go with. If it's Simulacrums next, totems will be the second build. If I go mapping, totems will be the next build. It also depends how much currency I get play with. But hope everyone liked the little mini late league start thing we did. Ended up working better than I thought it was. I did not expect it to take 5 days to fully clear everything, pretty much with work and all that. But I'm happy the way everything turned out with Hexblast Ignite. Very different from the Templar version we played in Ultimatum League. Templar version and this one are very different. If you want to make speed, you know, get your Cane of Colomac, and you could definitely, you know, clear the game much better than the Shield and Weapon version. It's just this is the version I'm used to playing, so that's why I want to go back to this one before trying something else. If you're playing a Templar version, your weapon is a lot easier to craft with essences, and your defensive layer is going to be a little bit stronger because you have Battle Mage. But hope I like to. But the only biggest problem with Templar is hexproof enemies are a nightmare, which this one takes care of. So I mean, there's things here and there to play with. If we have more currency, also another thing to look at is the those new jewels that drop from the 2 bosses that you can actually take other passive points. You know, taking like the all your, I think it's a Shaper of Flame, or not Shaper of Flames, the one next to it on the Elementalist, the one that gives you more AoE. That's a really good one to take if you have the currency. I just haven't looking into it yet. But something to look at for in the future. So I'll link the POB in the description below of this build. But hope everyone liked the video. Hope to see everyone on the next one. So do I have the damage for this? It's 84, so I was wondering. The bad thing, I learned how to do this fight through Quinn. And luckily our build can face tank a lot. Like our build's super tanky. Not much damage though, but it's got tank. Shit. Oh, where he's at? We're dead. No? Oh. Because we're dead to one die beam. So this is actually my first build I ever actually made my own POB for, from start to finish. Because most builds play this one are playing the Cane of Colamax. I don't want to drop 70 exalts on it though. Okay, we're done. I'm gonna have big problems trying to maneuver this. Like, I think our biggest problem this fight is gonna be just memory game part. She's actually halfway dead already. I need easy. Nope, I'm dead. I didn't even see the first one, to be honest. I'm just gonna guess. Nope, log out. Yeah, the memory game phase, I can't even see the field. So there's 0% chance I'm gonna survive the memory game. We have what, 3 portals? That should actually be doable. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot they patched this shit. We should have died. Shit. Oh, crap. I forgot that got patched a long time ago. I'm used to the old method where you can just log out. So we actually got lucky there. We gave us an extra easy one. Oh, you piece of shit, Maven. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. The problem is I don't know how to do the Uber Elder fight. That's actually the one fight in the game I never learned how to do. Because every time I've done Uber Elder, it's always been with minions. Almost dead. She's on top. Means we're going to have to shoot this way around. If she goes memory game, we are screwed. We're gonna have problems. She should be dead though. Thank God. I need to kill the snake one. This should be dead. So I think this should be the last one. I think this is the actual Cortex now. Yep, this is the beam. Well, the thing about playing this build actually is I guess the actual abilities of bossing. Like, I've never seen Cortex do that ability before. Was dead, so. And Cortex is... Which Maven is it? Clone Maven? Shit. So three shapers. lived. Done.